Okay, guys, thanks for coming out and for covering us. Happy Labor Day. So on to game two. All right, a new season. It's the Miami of Ohio season. Miami is a really good football team. You know, as you watch them against Wisconsin, but as we watch them last year, and they've been in the MAC championship game the last 2 years. Really, you know, Coach Martin is certainly an experienced coach who's won a lot of games. He's won everywhere he's been. You know, a lot of respect for him and the way he runs his program. Their quarterback is a transfer, DeQuan Finn, who's you know, a seventh-year senior and leads the country in touchdowns. You know, 93 touchdowns involved. They get their running back last year, who had coming back from a torn ACL. And then a lot of different guys, new guys on offense, you know, 4 transfer receivers, transfer offensive linemen. So there's still some, we're still working on getting background on all of them, and we're working on watching all of them. We've got all the background on them. On defensively, they're really strong. You know, they have a lot of players returning. They've played really good defense the last 4 years. They've played, you know, top 40 defense and in some cases top 20 defense. So really good. They don't give up easy points. They make you earn everything. The number 20, I think his name is Trick, was a little bit of a game wrecker last week, so we got to make sure we know where he is. And then special teams, you know, it's always been a part of Coach Martin's formula, very similar to ours. And you can see it's a programmatic belief. They play across the board. They play very hard, but on special teams, where some programs may play hard on offense and defense and play marginally on special teams, that's not the case here with Miami. They play really, really hard on special teams, and they know what they want to do. So definitely going to be a challenge, one we're looking forward to, and we have our work to do this week to improve, right? I talked about fundamental improvement. That's really been the war cry around here right now. So I'll open up for questions.
Just didn't get a chance to ask you this after the game, but Dante Chin getting the start at left tackle, I guess, what did he show you kind of to earn that spot, to earn that role, and how do you feel like he performed?
Well, Dante had a very good training camp for sure. You know, we had some injuries on the offensive line during camp, so Dante moved out there out of necessity and then did a really good job, and we felt like he deserved to get the start. We'll see. You know, I think it's going to be, like I said earlier, those 3 guys are going to rotate, and we'll see how it ends up.
Similarly, we didn't get to ask about Doug Blue Eli, him being out for the year. How much does that impact the defensive tackle room? Do you anticipate guys getting more snaps than expected, or do you expect someone else to kind of fill in his spot in the rotation?
Well, it's a good question. Doug was a big loss. I really felt Doug was going to be a difference maker. He had a really good, leading up to that, really good experience. So that hurts for sure, and it's kind of a silly way we lost him, which is frustrating. We can't do that, right? Good teams know how to practice, and I think we do a good job of that, but that was one of those instances that shouldn't have happened. But as far as filling in, guys just move up. I mean, that's the way it is, right? It's cliche, but next man up. And we have, you know, the one thing that is we started the year with good depth, but you can't have too many injuries and continue to say that. So we got to make sure that we practice smart, and then games are the games. You got to go have it.
Great tight end position. You get Kenny back. You got Colin in there. Just your thoughts on that position and your assessment of the depth there as well.
Yeah, I mean, Kenny and Colin are going to be a good 1-2 punch. We got to keep them both healthy, right? But I think they bring different skill sets to the game. And I think Coach Haraka and Coach Falone know exactly how to use their skill sets. And then we have some guys behind them that I think are growing and getting better. So I'm encouraged with the tight end position. But, you know, as you know, Kenny and Colin are one and done. So we need to be developing behind them for sure.
When breaking in so many new defensive starters, what's the process kind of like for both the coaches and the staff now having a whole game of film to kind of teach off of?
I think the film may be, you know, a little overrated in that we've had film of them. But look, you can say whatever you want to them over and over again, both the coaches and the players. But when you go play a game and now it's real, now I think he has a little bit more of an urgency on some of the things that are being mentioned. And that's what we need to do. Defensively, we need to be better fundamentally. It's not where we tackled hard. I mean, we had 8 missed tackles, which, when you look at it, the way we always look at it is if you can contain it to 2 per level. So 2 missed tackles for the front, level 1, 2 missed tackles for the linebackers, level 2, and then 2 missed tackles for the secondary. If you can have 6 missed tackles in a game, it's a pretty good game. Because, again, you're playing against good players. To have 8 missed tackles against that quarterback is pretty good. So, usually tackling something you really worry about to start the season, I don't think that was an issue. We lost contain several times. And you just can't do that against a quarterback of that caliber. And we're going to have it again this week. DeQuan Finn is a really talented, athletic quarterback with a big arm. You're not part of 93 Division I touchdowns by chance. That's by being a good football player. So we need to take what we see, what we've made mistakes on, and really improve on it this week. And then the things that we're doing well, we need to just enhance that.
The defense seemed to struggle a little last week with Navarro's legs. Is there anything specific being done as Finn is a rushing threat as well?
Yeah, just as I mentioned, I don't know if, the actual run game of Navarro was the issue. The bigger issue was when there was a pass rush that didn't have contain, he created plays. And that's the struggle, right? We have to make sure that we keep him contained. And if he beats you throwing the ball, he beats you throwing the ball. You can't let him get on the perimeter. There's a couple balls that Navarro threw that were just, the one he threw out of the end zone with, a hand in his face and fading away. He threw it 20-something yards on the dime. That one, that's a good player, really good player. And again, Finn's a really good player. So we're getting it 2 weeks in a row.
Coach, C.J. Campbell and Antoine Raymond seem to be the 2 premier backs in that last game. Is that something you see going forward the rest of the season, or could that change with guys like Sam Brown coming back?
Well, Jashawn Benjamin is the guy that I think we needed to get in there more than we did. He had a really good training camp. We'll continue to work him in the mix. I think those 3 are going to be Sam. We're trying to gauge where he is coming back off the surgery, and we have some decisions to make there. But those 3 certainly need to continue to play, and we'll keep playing them all unless someone pulls away. If someone pulls away or somebody gets hot in the game, then we'll keep them going. But otherwise, we want to give everybody an opportunity to win the job, become the primary ball carrier.
I guess when they're also learning a new scheme and trying to execute a new system for the first time, I guess how much does that lead into kind of some of that slow start that you felt like maybe they were having?
Yeah, I think as I said after I don't think we're far off, but sometimes that final piece is the hardest piece, right? And we have to do a better job as coaches, making everything crystal clear and then holding them accountable to that. I think there were some things that weren't crystal clear that we need to clean up, exactly how we want to play this, how we want to play that. And, I can promise you we've been working hard to get that cleaned up. And, but you won't know until you go out and play again on Saturday. And hopefully we can make improvement. It's about incremental improvement every day. And then when you look up, over a longer period of time, all of a sudden, oh, look at that. So we just need to keep doing that and keep our head down. And as we say around here, keep chopping.
You didn't play any true freshmen in the openers. That's something unusual. Usually you have somebody in there. Is that something you can expect to continue and just talk about that class?
Yeah, well, some played on teams. Some true freshmen played on special teams, I think. Houston, I think, played some a little bit. But we're gonna work the freshmen in. That's kind of a process. We have some veteran guys that we're going to make sure they get in first, unless a freshman comes in. And, as you know, I'm not afraid to play freshmen, but they need to earn it. We don't hand anything out around here.
Miami's already played a Big Ten team going up against a physical Wisconsin team last week. Does that impact your preparation, if at all, going up against them this week?
Well, I think, you look at their history. They've beat 2 Power 4 teams in the last, 2 or 3 years. So we didn't need Wisconsin to tell us that they're not going to come in here in awe of a Big Ten team. We know that. By chance, we happened to schedule the 2 teams that played in the MAC championship last year, and they're both really good football teams, and they both happen to have really good mobile quarterbacks, which makes when you have an athletic quarterback that can throw and run, anything can happen. And they're a good football team. They're not a team that is in awe of Rutgers or the Big Ten or any of that stuff. Chuck Martin's a proven winner at every level. His team plays in his personality. They're a tough football team that play really, really hard. So, yes, going into Wisconsin Camp Randall and playing, this team isn't going to sweat coming into here and playing. That's for sure.
What do you think of how Jacoby Henderson played, and just what has he done since he's gotten here?
I thought Jacoby played well. I really love coaching Jacoby. He loves football. And I love coaching guys who love football. He wants to always watch tape. He wants to come in and talk scheme. He wants to talk about our opponent. Here's a guy who lives it, and we need to just keep doing that. And we need some guys to follow his way. That's the kind of preparation. That's the kind of juice that I like to coach. And I like guys that are lit, that are on it, want to go. I think he's been a great addition, and hopefully he can pull some with him. All right, guys, appreciate it again. Thanks for covering the team.